Haumitakuepi dayayahipalo. Dona anakupta nankapi ki hena wo pila tranka echichiapalo. Welcome to the new Lakota Dictionary Mobile Getting Started video. I'm very excited to announce the publication of the new Lakota Dictionary mobile app, which is now available on iOS and Android. You can find it by searching Lakota Dictionary in the Google Play Store or in the App Store. You may also find it by using the link dictionary.lakota.org. This dictionary is unique and different from other Lakota dictionaries in a number of different ways. First, this dictionary is the only Lakota dictionary that's publishing is controlled by Lakota people. Secondly, this dictionary is the only one that can be accessed for free. Thirdly, all content in this dictionary originates from native speakers. These native speakers verified every word that you'll find in it. There are 50,000 example sentences, which all come from Lakota narratives. Over 400 Lakota fluent speakers contributed words and sentences to this dictionary. Additionally, many of these speakers contributed extended amounts of time through editing and consulting. Among them, I'd like to mention Rick Two Dogs, Ben Black Bear Jr., Robert Two Crow, Paulette High Elk, and Iris Eagle Chasing. In the past few years, I've also been able to contribute content from interviews that I've made with Lakota elders and speakers in the community. This new edition has over 40,000 Lakota entries and new charts which feature the entire conjugation pattern list. In this presentation video, we'll show you some of the features of the dictionary, how to get started, and how to explore this app. Also, we'll talk about how you can help the dictionary grow by liking and sharing. So let's go ahead and get started. Hokahe. The new Lakota Dictionary, or NLD, was first published in 2008 in a book format, and the first digital version of the dictionary was released in 2014. In this video, we will talk about the newest currently available mobile app version, released in December 2022. First of all, this is a bilingual dictionary, and so it has two sides, Lakota and English. Let me show you how to look up words on the English side. Let's type horse in the search field and choose this entry. As you can see, the word at the top of the entry is shunkawakhan. Let's go to that entry by tapping on the word and choosing Go To.
Shunkawakha.
The first thing you probably noticed is the audio that was played when the entry opened. Every time you open an entry on the Lakota side, you'll hear either the male or female audio of that word. If you want to hear it again, simply tap on one of the audio icons on top of the page. If you don't want the audio to play, or you didn't hear it when you opened an entry, you can go to the settings by tapping on the gear icon and select or unselect autoplay audio. Keep in mind that the mute switch or other audio settings on your phone or device may prevent the dictionary audio from playing. I'll explain what Lakota entries consist of in a later part of this video. Now, let's go back to the English side and again look up the word horse. If you scroll down, you'll notice there are many other Lakota words inside the English entry horse, as shung, which is used in compounds, or trashunke, meaning his or her horse, and so on. You can tap on each of these words and choose Go To, and it will take you to the Lakota entry of that particular word. If you keep scrolling, you'll notice that the entry horse is divided into categories as activities around horses, where you'll find words like shunkakayanka, to ride a horse, or shungmanu, to steal a horse, and many more. Let's say you're looking for a specific type of horse, like a race horse. Scroll down to the types of horses. Here you'll find shungluzaha, race horse, among many other words. On the bottom of the entry, you'll also find colors of horses with words like hinkcheka sapa, a black horse, or shungska, a white horse. Also, it is important to pay attention to the individual senses of the words. When you find the desired English entry, the first Lakota word you see may not be the one you need for your context. As an example, let's take a look at the entry for nail, which has 3 meanings: fingernail, a nail, nails, and to nail something, to stake down. Now, let me show you how to look up words on the Lakota side. You can type words like traspan using Lakota characters, which you'll find here, in the top row of the integrated keyboard. However, you don't have to use the exact spelling if you are not sure about it. You can use approximate spelling, which means typing only letters without the diacritical marks. For instance, simply type TASPAN and tap on traspan. If this doesn't work for you, you can tap on the gear icon at the bottom and check if the approximate spelling is selected. Up at the top right next to the search box, you'll also find the zoom button, which makes the text bigger and easier to see. Next to it is the history button. Tapping on this will display a list of the entries you previously looked up, and the back button. Now you know how to look up words in both the English and Lakota sections. I'm sure you've noticed there are more things inside an entry than just translation of words. So let's talk about the entry structure in the Lakota section. Let's look up another word like wayanka, to see something or somebody. Right below the entry word, the part of speech is given, so you'll notice either active verb or AV, depending on your settings. If you have use abbreviations checked, you'll see only AV. If it's unchecked, abbreviations will not be used, and you'll see active verb. So now you know that wayanka is an active verb. There are several different types of parts of speech. For example, shunka is a noun, and washaka is a state of verb. To see the entire list of parts of speech, you can tap the letter I at the bottom of the app. This will take you to the main panel, and below the search box, you'll find a number of tabs. The second one is abbreviations. Tap it, and it will display the list of parts of speech and their abbreviations that are used in this dictionary. Going back to wayanka, notice that in entries of verbs, you will find a digit following the part of speech. It indicates the number of grammatical participants associated with the verb. This is an extremely important piece of information when it comes to Lakota verbs. The technical term for this is valency. If you want to learn more about valency, you can read the grammar section of the 3rd edition of the NLD book version. Let's look up another word. For example, lol'iha. Right below the part of speech, you'll notice the word morphology, followed by bracketed information about building blocks of the word in the entry. In this case, it consists of lol, which is a root form meaning food, and iha, to cook something. When you tap one of the components and select search, you'll be taken to its entry. However, not every Lakota word can be broken down into morphological parts. So let's go to the entry watuka, to be tired. Further down in the entry, you'll see one S and one P. These stand for first person singular and first person plural. So they tell us how to say I am tired and we are tired. Learning these two forms is usually sufficient for deducing the entire conjugation paradigm. But if you are not sure, you can view the paradigm in the conjugation chart. You can open it by tapping on Go to Inflection Chart. So now you can see all of the 7 inflectional forms of the verb watuka. So for example, wamatuka is I am tired, wanituka is you are tired, you singular, wauntuka is you and I are tired, and wauntukapi is we are tired, and so on. In verbs that take an object, the inflection chart is much larger. Let's look at the entry wayanka again. If you tap Go to Inflection Chart, the chart will show all of the possible grammatical persons of the subject in the first column, and all of the possible persons of object in the top row. You can swipe to the left or right to navigate the chart and find the form you're looking for. For example, let me show you how to find out how to say I saw them. You will first look at the subject column and find I, and then search for them animate. This shows you that I saw them is wawicha balake. I think this is one of the most helpful features of this dictionary app, and I believe that this will be of great help in your language learning journey. If you come across a conjugated verb in a text or conversation with fluent speakers, you can also type it in the search field. Let's say you want to find the word chichu, and you are not sure what it means or even what the base form is. All you need to do is to type that word in the search field, and here it shows you the base form, ku, to give something to somebody or something. Opening the inflection chart, you can locate chichu in it and find out by looking at the subject column and the top row that it means I gave it to you. Many words in Lakota have more than one sense, as for example, the verb owa. You will see that all of them are numbered and listed in the entry like this. 1. To write something. 2. To spell something. 3. To paint something, draw, or sketch. At this point, I'm sure you've noticed that some verbs are spelled with a capital A or N, as in wayanka. This is called Ablaut and has been explained in the video on Ablaut. The link is in the description. In many entries, right below conjugation, you'll find example sentences. This will help you better understand how the given word is used in a sentence. Many of the example sentences also offer valuable cultural content because they all come from authentic discourse from native speakers, such as traditional stories, narratives, interviews, or conversations. So, reading example sentences in the dictionary is something that can teach you how to use the words and sentence structure, but you'll also learn interesting things about Lakota culture and history. When reading example sentences, you will likely come across words you don't know yet. When that happens, you can tap on the word and choose Search to see its entry. You can also look up conjugated forms. If you tap on one of them, you'll be taken to its base form. So let's talk about another feature. If you turn on Lakota definitions in the settings, some entries contain definitions in Lakota, in addition to the English gloss. This is one of my favorite features of this dictionary app. Currently, only about 5,000 entries have monolingual definitions, but we continue to work with our wonderful elders who help us create more of these. At the bottom of almost every entry, you'll find a list of words that are derived from the entry word. As in this example, there are the words derived from wayanka. So for example, if you want to find the possessive form of wayanka, you'll need to scroll down to the bottom of the entry and find the possessive form. Or if you're using abbreviations, POS, and you'll see wangalaka, wankigalaka. This is because sometimes there are two possible forms. You can tap on these forms to navigate to their entries. If you tap the letter I on the bottom bar, you'll be taken to the information section. Here, you will find additional information about the dictionary, like getting started, searching the dictionary, entry display and navigation, and buttons. Apart from that, on top of the screen, right below the search bar, you'll find a number of tabs such as how to use, abbreviations, acknowledgments, and introduction. Under acknowledgments, you can read the names of more than 400 Lakota speakers who contributed words and sentences to this dictionary project. You can also add words to your favorites. Here's how it's done. Go to an entry you'd like to add, for example, Wombly, and tap the bookmark icon in the bottom right corner. If you wish to add a word to your favorites, simply tap the plus sign. If you want to remove it, tap the X. As with any dictionary, you may wish to save some bookmarks. In this app, you can create lists and save words in those lists. Tap the bookmark icon and then the arrow down and choose Add New List. Let's call it Animals. And then let's add the word for Wombly. Now you can go back to your list and review the words you want to practice. Let's say you're looking at an entry like Pilaya, to make somebody grateful or thankful, and you're curious what the entries occurring around this entry word in their alphabetical order are. If you tap the hamburger button on the bottom, you'll see the previous 50 and the next 50 entries in alphabetical order. I cannot express enough gratitude to each of the Lakota elders that contributed to this dictionary project. Many of them are no longer with us, but if you happen to know them and you see any of the ones that are listed in the acknowledgments section, please thank them, shake their hand, and thank them for the contribution they've made to this great resource for Lakota language learning and revitalization. We'd very much like to hear your comments on this video and also your experiences on using the dictionary. We do hope that you can help us to cultivate the discussion and dialogue around Lakota language. So if you could comment something positive, or if you see something that could use improvement, please make sure that your criticism is constructive. I did mention earlier that this is the only Lakota dictionary that can be accessed for free. However, if you enjoy using this app and you want to help us to continue offering it for free, please consider purchasing a print version of the Lakota dictionary book. Wopila tranka e chichi apolo. Haho.